First thing that comes to mind when I think of wisdom is sometimes the wisdom to speak and not speak. And for a long time, I have been silent as far as speaking from the heart because, well, I was afraid what would come out of my heart would not be so pleasant. I learned a lot of hard lessons being an evangelist, a lot of lessons about seeking wise counsel and also being very, very sure of what I say before I say it. I learned a lot of hard lessons doing what I was told to do. Instead, I didn't seek wisdom in the places that I needed it most. And sometimes the best wisdom comes from our own experiences. Sometimes wisdom comes from wise counsel. But if we don't have the ears to hear wise counsel, then how in the world are we going to be able to take sound advice? Sometimes in my own life, I did things that were based on emotion because, well, I felt led to do it. I felt that it was the right thing to do. And instead, I ended up in a ditch. Sometimes I took counsel for people thinking that they knew better than me, but the truth was that, well, the truth was inside of me and not out of me. In other words, it wasn't external. After leaving the church, and again, I'm not making a knock against anyone's faith at all, and I'm not even saying that I walked away from my faith, but I did walk away from being an evangelist. And the main reason why is because what I was being taught were not things that were true. And I'm not going to expose anything or go into any of the things that I was taught that was wrong because I don't want to hurt anyone else's walk in their faith. But that said, had I sought wise counsel and been more true to myself and sought God in my own relationship with God to guide me instead of listening to external forces, I believe that I would have done a lot less damage. I did a lot of damage in the name of God. I did a lot of damage thinking that what I was teaching and telling people was right. And one of the things about wisdom and the wisdom that I've been able to learn over the years is sometimes having the wisdom to not speak at all until I know what to say is right. A lot of times we live in a world where it is very, very, very easy to react to what we see. It's very, very easy to react emotionally. And then we go post things or write things. And I'm guilty of this because I say a lot of things that sometimes I wish I could take back. In fact, I believe I delete more posts than I actually post. Sometimes it's a rage post, sometimes it is something that maybe I shouldn't say, like maybe I believe it, but maybe it doesn't need to be said because not everything needs to be said. Not everything needs to be shared publicly. And this is coming from a guy that wrote The Devil Inside Me, that shared all of my secrets. And mind you, I am free from all secrets. I'm free from the bullets that could be used against me for the things that I did in my past. I can't tell you how many times that I sabotaged my own success because I was worried what others would think about me or find out about me. And writing this book set me free. And I do wish that I had the wisdom to know how powerful truth was, because ultimately none of us can truly be wise or even learn from wisdom until we know what's true ourselves. And sometimes there's a process of unlearning that comes through seeking wisdom or seeking guidance. I think of this serenity prayer quite a bit when I think of wisdom, because wisdom, to know, what is it? I just forgot the serenity prayer. The wisdom to know the difference, to change the things I can change, the wisdom to change the things I can. I just butchered it. Doesn't. Okay, here we go. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.